Donald Trump is currently driving a freight train through the less than wonderful world of wokery. Thank God for that. People are loving watching him destroy the DEI.
That's fantastic.
Industry. It really is. Now, wokery, the lefties were always, it's just the culture wars. You lot are obsessed with the culture wars. Really doesn't matter. Well, it does. It does. Wokery is the mechanism by which extreme left-wingism is promoted. It's a war on our traditions. Now, this worries me. The king is worrying me. The Green King sounds like a pub, doesn't it? He's a massive, he's a massive fan of crazy Ed Miliband's lunacy, his net zero madness. He really likes the idea of turning the country into one big windmill and one big solar panel. That worries me. But now we learn that he ordered the renaming of a new Navy submarine, Royal Navy submarine called HMS Agincourt. He said, oh, you can't call it that because that will offend the French. It's now going to be called the HMS Achilles. Well, I'd make 2 points about this. Charlie, get this on board. We like offending the French. You know, we would have loved to have called it Agincourt. Who cares what they think? And secondly, we called it HMS Achilles. Won't that be offensive to the Greeks? I mean, what would his dad have to say about that? You know, this king is actually a bit of a woke problem, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't know any of these views. If he was being the titular king of the United Kingdom, which is what he should be, we wouldn't know his views, but we do know his views, and that's quite worrying. But Agincourt is very interesting to me because Agincourt, and I'm going to this visually, I suppose people who are listening on the radio won't see this, but Agincourt is where this sign came from. The V sign.
Right. The V sign. He's doing the V's up, ladies and gentlemen, listening on the radio.
Yeah. So that was what the British longbowmen used to do at Agincourt. Yeah. Because if the French got hold of a longbowman, what they would do is chop their fingers off, because a longbowman on the English side was so brilliant at killing French soldiers that the first thing they'd do if they captured one was chop those fingers off. So what the English used to do, where the longbowmen standing in a line, would show their 2 fingers to the French. And so Agincourt...
I never knew this. I never knew this.
Agincourt is where that comes from, and I say that to the French.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. One last point before you go, Ben. You know, talking about wokery, we know what we're talking about. It is actually a covert attack, usually on our traditions. It's to destabilise traditional British culture. That's what it's about, and that's why people like Boris Johnson, David Cameron, Theresa May were so remiss in just sort of dismissing it and not paying much attention to it. It has changed our schools, our education system. It has changed everything about this country. And like in America, I think we should fight back. Do you remember the Archbishop of Wokery, Canterbury, Justin Welby? Now, the bishop, you know, he got defenestrated quite rightly for turning his back, for allowing the prolonged child abuse by a colleague of his. The Bishop of Dover, Rose Hudson Wilkin, has incredibly compared the Archbishop of Canterbury to being effectively crucified like Christ. Well, I would say that the thing is, Rose, Jesus did not turn a blind eye to the paedophile torture of little boys over a number of decades, and Welby did. So it is this defence of wokery that has to go, doesn't it? We have to stop.
Absolutely. And Welby was a really ill-placed man to be in charge of the church. He was politicized. Again, he was anti-British. He was pro-EU, anti the nation state that is the United Kingdom. And actually, he was prepared to give succor to paedophiles. I mean, that's just unacceptable.
It really is, and he's not even allowed to be a local parish priest anymore. So good luck, Justin. See you on the other side. Listen, Ben, I know you've got to go, so thank you very much for your time. Always a pleasure. That is Ben Habib, chairman of the Great British PAC. When you heard him explain what that is, sounds like an excellent organisation.